Welcome to the Mira Wine Podcast, Vincompetant, with Josh, Bryce, and Leah.
What?
The podcast where we drink, talk, and discuss natural wine.
And a little bit of pee.
And whatever else comes to mind. Hope you're ready for this, because I know we weren't.
What's up?
Well, what happened there, DJ?
I added in
That wasn't a very smooth transition.
Yeah.
I added in a little fun. Oh, you're drinking the cider from your Teku glass.
I know we're doing the podcast virtually today, and this is gonna sound really arrogant, but I only have like really expensive wine at home.
That's what Leah told me.
That's what Bryce is like, just open whatever you have at home. And I'm like, every bottle I have at home is like $250. I'm not just going to crack it. I drank it all this weekend. It's fucking COVID.
Yeah. I either have like really expensive wine, stuff that needs to age, or stuff that I'm like if I drink it alone, especially like Leslie's not drinking, like it's a pretty big asshole. Like the last bottle of Vageno and just drink it in front of you guys.
Yeah, that'd be pretty shitty of you.
Yeah. Hey, check out my new glass I got.
It's not a wine glass.
I know, but I love it. I'm not drinking wine.
That's true.
Where'd you get it from? I know it's multinational, but
I bought it there.
Okay.
I love these. Like, it kind of looks like a burgundy glass with like a little lip out here.
Yeah.
It's pretty slick.
That's what's considered the best beer tasting glass in the world.
I would agree.
It's called the Teku glass. I think it's made by like an Italian.
We should
Glassmith?
do that one time too. Do a beer tasting.
Oh look, yeah, it says Teku at the bottom.
Yeah, we should. We should get these glasses and compare them against the traditional beer glasses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we thank our sponsors, Water Construction?
First, let's say welcome to Mira Wine Presents Vincompetant with Josh, Bryce, and Leah. Thank you for joining us again. This time we're doing it virtually. We're all on Zoom meetings at our home, so because it's COVID. And let's thank our sponsors, Water Construction. They didn't give us 3 bottles of Jameson, so Josh is the only one that has it today.
I have some tequila. I'm going to give it a try with tequila.
Ooh.
I don't think I'm going to be good at it, but we'll see how it goes.
I think of the tequila. I mean, it's made from agave. It's a plant.
I think really I just want to do a shot.
Just guess Leaf Day
I'm
right
so
now.
grumpy about virtual. I sit at a computer all day and here I am again.
And you got to do this again, right? Yeah.
Right.
For the next 4 hours.
Like leaving your one serving job to go to your other serving job.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's recap the scores for the Biodynamic Jameson Challenge before we start. Leah's at 4 for 9, Josh is at 23 for 32, and Bryce is at 10 for 13.
I don't know about Bryce's.
No, this is right, because
there.
I would listen to our podcast last week where we were challenging it, and he's right this time.
Leah's
on track now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I really got to get over this Michael Jordan hump here.
Yeah. It's been several weeks.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I've been practicing.
You've been
I've been doing shots at
Maybe
work.
that's your problem.
And trying to do it, and I've just been wrong. Like I had a shot yesterday, and I was like, it's a root day, and it was a fruit day. Like
wow,
it's like the opposite.
Was it
You're
a new bottle?
You're overthinking it.
I know. I gotta relax here.
Yeah.
I'm just doing wine today because I don't have any fancy liquors. But cheers.
Okay.
Latte.
Cheers. Oh, that's delicious tequila.
What are you drinking? What kind of tequila you got there?
I don't know. Greg poured it for me. I'm not going to be able to tell.
No?
Based off of that, it's a fruit day, but
Because it tastes good?
yeah, it's like really sweet, fruit forward.
That would make
You're gonna
sense.
go fruit day?
Yeah.
Agave's
Is that
a fruit.
Coconut tequila? Oh, that's why. Okay.
I'm going to say it's either a root or a nothing day.
Ooh, I'm gonna go leaf day.
I'm going to say nothing.
I'm gonna go. Should I look it up? Okay.
Yeah, look it up, Josh. What you got?
When wine? I'm not even gonna look. I'm just gonna. Can you see it?
No.
Oh.
It's a
It says
a
no.
Nothing
nothing
day.
day?
Okay, Bryce. I'm
What is
deleting
going
the app
on?
from Bryce's phone.
I haven't had the app on my phone for at least 2 months now. So
No way.
At least
So
I
there
was
you go.
closer than a fruit day.
I'm getting good at this.
Yeah, it was coconut tequila.
Yeah.
There was no other option
It's
for fruit day.
Yeah.
Is there a tropical fruit day?
Right?
Is it tropical fruit today? Yeah. So what's everybody drinking today? Since we're all at home, we're all drinking different things.
Hmm.
Josh isn't even drinking wine.
I'm drinking a really cool cider from the Basque region.
What's it called?
It's called Pet-Nat.
Petrateggi.
And this particular one is called the Sagardoa. I love the Basque language because it's one of the few languages, and we should probably check this because this might be a Josh fact, but it's one of the few languages where they don't know where it came from, right? So the Basque region is essentially northern Spain, southern France.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound Spanish or French at all.
It's Basque.
And they have lineage back, I think, like 40 or 50,000 years. Like people can trace their DNA back to ancestors that have lived in that region for that long.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's I was actually yesterday I was kind of doing some I guess wishful thinking / goal setting. And I was like, I don't want to retire in Regina, right?
Right.
And I'm not really like a Mexico, like I don't want to go to Mexico for like 3 months out of the year. Like I want to go to Europe. So I was looking up how much like an apartment would cost to buy in San Sebastian, which is the greatest place in the world.
Well, okay. So I heard
It is not affordable.
I heard the other day there's towns in Italy that are selling houses for $1.
Yes, I read this article as well. Did you read the whole thing, or did you just read like?
Nah, I just read I was just like $1.
So I mean that's like to entice you, and it is cheap, but it's like in a town where basically the population is dwindling.
Yeah.
And they want people to live there, so you have to live there. You can't just buy it.
And
Right, you have to live there, and a lot of the houses we're talking like, I mean, $10,000-$20,000 worth of renovation, which you're still getting a house for 20,001 euros.
Yeah.
But you have to live there.
I mean, if you want to retire there.
Well, I mean, you have to like buy it and live there now.
Oh,
You
right
can't
now.
Yeah,
promise
but
to
think
live there.
about everything can be done virtually. So if it's nice, why not?
Yeah, just move to Italy. Come on, Josh. We don't need you.
The small town in Italy, maybe.
Maybe.
I get so fat.
Maybe.
But so the Basque cider is kind of like pretty world famous, and it's got these little instructions in the back.
Yeah.
And it's got this really cool little pour spout, and you got to pour it like this. If anyone's ever been to the Basque region, you pour it like that.
So what makes
Do you know what that sounds like?
sounds
A
like
little bit of pee.
And a little bit of pee.
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is Basque cider then? World famous, but why?
I believe it's the fact that they've been so like this cider house is from 1526, right? Like the Basque region has an insane history,
Right.
and I think they've just been making cider for so long, and like they have like a bunch of apple orchards there, which I'm sure are like a specific to that region,
Mm-hmm.
and the way that they make cider there is very much like kind of like in the natural wine world where they crush apples and then let it ferment.
Right.
So it's super low alcohol, very,
So
very
is that
fine bubbles.
cider very descriptive of Basque cider in general, or a natural Basque cider? Because I've tasted it and it is. I hate it. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's like overly acidic, really tart. So is that what you would expect from Basque cider?
Yeah, Basque cider is pretty acidic, pretty dry, pretty tart in general. From
Yeah.
from my experience, like I was only
Yeah.
there for 24 hours, but I did drink probably 5 or 6 different ciders.
Yeah.
This one is especially out there. But you have to imagine like this you can buy at the winery for €1.
Yeah.
Right. So like the €3 ciders are delicious.
Right.
A little bit sweeter, but still dry.
Okay. So that's not the typical Basque cider then, you would say.
I would say it's in that realm.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they usually have like these humongous wooden barrels that they open up and it shoots out a spout and like the guy catches it in a glass.
Right. Yeah.
It's hilarious. Like when you're in a bar in in the Basque region, like they pour half of it on the ground,
Right.
right? And they pour it in a pint glass, but they only fill it up to here. And they just like, they don't even look, and it's like spills everywhere. And they're like, here you go. But it costs you $1 a glass.
Mm.
So you're like, oh, okay.
Right. Who cares, right?
It's like literally I went to a bar and got a cider and a bottle of water, and the bottle of water was $1.50 and the cider was $1.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you were at Multinational. Did you get any of the mead while you were there?
I did. I got, you know what's hilarious? So you posted something on
I know.
on the
I
homestead.
saw that.
I got 4 or 5 emails, and Leslie got 3 text messages. People like, oh, can you save us some? So I had to go and buy a bunch of meat today for clients. I'm like, we're not even fucking selling it.
I was just pushing it out there.
Yeah, well, it worked.
I
bought 4 cans because I figured I didn't know if you'd had it. I knew you'd want to try it.
I bought 8 yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Can I
fantastic.
maybe buy 1 or 2 from you guys?
Well, I'll just give you 1 or 2.
They are over half out, or I mean 3/4 out. They pretty much sold
Yeah.
out already. 4
I
days.
spoke to a guy who works there yesterday to see if he could put some aside for me, and he said that they will be sold out by tomorrow.
Yeah, it's all gone. It's fantastic though.
Mm-hmm. When I was there was 3 people in line, and I was there at 10 a.m. buying cider
Yeah,
or buying mead. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I bought mine on Saturday, but it was. What the heck was that sound?
You know what? It's me spinning my glass on a glass table.
Oh, stop that! That's the worst sound ever.
Sorry.
Leah, what are you drinking?
So when I drink wine at home, I tend to like have a list of 5 staples. And so Greg went to the liquor store today, and I said, just pick something out, surprise me. So he came home with a 2015 Bordeaux Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc Semillon blend.
Wow,
Never had it before. It's organic. It's pretty good.
pretty good.
How much was it?
$30.
That's
30
not
bucks.
bad.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
No, it's good. It's really fresh. Good acidity. It's missing a little bit of fruit for me, but I expect that from a Bordeaux Blanc. So
Do you think white Bordeaux should get more clout than it does? Like, do you think it's overshadowed because red Bordeaux is what it is, or do you think it gets as much as it should?
I think it gets as much as it should.
I agree.
There are
with you.
so many other white wines out there that
Mhm.
are superior to a Bordeaux Blanc.
I think if anything, you could probably charge a bit more for Bordeaux Blanc just because it says the word Bordeaux on it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this should be a $22 bottle of wine.
Yeah, like
Mm.
for white Bordeaux, I've had some really good white Bordeaux's from the Grave region, but they were all like 20, 25 bucks.
Yep.
But you got to
They're
think like,
good, but they're nothing special.
but you're surrounded by Bordeaux, like red Bordeaux, and then you're
Mhm.
also right next to Sauternes,
Mhm.
and then you're just like, kind of between the 2 rivers, like you're just there,
Right.
Yeah.
like what the hell?
Everyone's making fun of you
Oh, for
because
sure.
you're the only guy growing white grapes.
You're like, I don't even know why we keep you on this fucking team.
Right.
You don't do anything.
There's Josh over there growing white grapes, thinking he's gonna make a
Hey,
living.
How's the Semillon coming, bro?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, great. Just gonna hang out with this Merlot and this Cabernet Sauvignon over here.
Right. Exactly.
What do you charge for your bottle? My 2026s are sold out already.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Bryce, what do you got? What just happened?
Bryce got a broken cork.
I got a
and
broken
actually
cork.
Do you have a wine opener?
Not in my immediate vicinity.
Ooh.
So what were you going to be drinking?
I was gonna be drinking the Klaus Pressinger Saint Laurent Ancestral from 2019. Oop.
Mhm.
Cha-ching.
So with this, a new wine we just got in,
Yep.
and I haven't actually tried. We tried the Blaufränkisch and the Zweigelt.
And you haven't had the Pet-Nat either.
No.
We haven't had the Pet-Nat or the Ancestral.
So I started with the Pet-Nat today. It's 100% Pinot Noir, and it's pretty good, I would say.
Mhm.
Cool.
Solid, really good bubbles. It's a lot like the mead actually from Multinational. It's got that same tartness to it. It's super refreshing. I think that it should be more of a people should be drinking it more right now, because everybody that I let try it on Thursday, they were like, "Oh, that's more for the summer." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but
Or a winter breakfast.
yeah, just drink it. How's that?"
You should. Listen, guys, wine really isn't pretentious.
Yeah.
Try it. This is more of a summer wine. Or you could shut up.
Or you could just shut up and drink it. Why do we have to be so like time specific on when we drink wine? That's a topic I want to get into later, but
yeah, I would say like I've definitely been drinking more reds, like heavier reds in the last month for sure.
Is that because of winter?
Yeah, 100%.
I really want to try and get this cork out, but
just shake it up, it might pop out.
oh, well, that might actually work.
It's got some. I hope this goes poorly. Is it coming out?
No, I don't think so. It's like there's like none.
Just don't aim it at your face, just in case. Okay. Oh, do you have like a knife or something you could savor with?
No.
Oh, I don't think that would work, Leah, because like you've already opened it before, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was already open.
Okay.
So
for those of you that are not watching,
yes, sorry about this. Thanks, Leah.
Bryce got a cork stuck in the wine he was going to taste, and now it looks like a hook.
I found like a screw
screwing into the cork to try and pull it out.
It looks like something you'd hang a plant up in your house with.
It does, yeah. There you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm excited. This one's awesome. The Blaufränkisch is good, by the way.
The Blaufränkisch is good. It is very, very trumped by the Zweigelt, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you agree with that, Leah, when we tried them side by side.
Yeah, I like the Blaufränkisch. It had good acidity, good fruit. It was just really, really approachable. I think the Zweigelt was just a little bit more complex, had a little bit more character to it. So, yeah.
Both good wines, but the Zweigelt and the Blaufränkisch, same price. So Zweigelt for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I really like these wines.
I'm really excited by the sparklings, though.
The sparkling wines are awesome. This Ancestral is super complex. Lots of bubbles. It almost reminds me of an orange wine. I don't know why. Like I don't know. It's got those
sorry, did you say that the Pet-Nat was the Pinot Noir?
Yeah, the Pet-Nat is the Pinot Noir.
Okay, so what are the grapes in the Ancestral?
Just Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent? I don't know how to say it.
Saint Laurent.
Saint Laurent. Go down to the Saint Laurent. Yeah, no, it's a super. I really like all of these Klaus Pressinger wines that we brought in. I'm really interested in the region of Austria, so I'd like to kind of bring a few more wines in from the Eastern Europe going forward. I don't know about you, Josh, Leah.
Now that we know how to do it, we can do it a bit more.
Yeah, and they seem to be like the it thing right now too, right? Like everybody wants.
I think it's exciting because it's new and people are looking for something new and different. They've been producing wines for, hundreds of years, like some of the other old world regions. They're just not as readily available. Like you can go to the liquor store here and you can see Spain and Italy and France. There's not a huge section for Austrian wines,
right?
So
or anywhere
here. There's no short of Metro Liquor having a couple. There's no Austrian wines.
Like there's not even a section. It's hey, do you have any Austrian wines? Yeah, we have these 2 bottles, and they're over here in the corner. Yeah.
Do you know what this?
Yeah, exactly. Or there's a bunch of cheap Gruner available that might not be any good.
Leah, do you remember when we tried that Ageno that had been open for a whole week?
Yeah.
This is kind of what that tastes like, just with better acid.
Really?
Is it kind of like? Is it like kind of yeasty, kind of bready?
A little bit, yeah.
Like toasted, toasty.
I got
almonds?
tea, like Earl Grey tea.
Yeah,
it was really oxidized. Like
I'm getting a lot more like it almost feels like bubbly iced tea.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, but like not sweet tea.
No, not sweet.
Yeah.
See, I feel like when I drink a wine that I want it to be like I want it to taste like toasted nuts and bread. Like that's what I want it to taste like.
Why though?
I don't know.
It's just that's what you want out of your Ancestral.
I'm my Ancestral. That's what I want.
Let's.
Toasty nuts.
I guess I got 5 quick food topics or food facts that you guys probably didn't know. You want to hear these? I thought these were absolutely crazy. How long do you guys think pineapples take to grow? Question time.
Like in
Come on.
Hawaii?
Pineapple, like that you would get at the grocery store.
6 months.
I'm gonna say
Leah's got 6 months.
I think it's gonna be significantly less, only because I know my brother-in-law grew one in Montreal,
Mm.
and the climate was a lot shorter growing season. I'm gonna say it takes 6 weeks.
2 to 3 years to grow the size of pineapples that you can buy at the grocery
2
store.
to 3 years?
Yeah, because the pineapple is actually a bunch of flowers that have melded together to form a fruit.
How is it
That's
like only
cool.
$6?
I have no idea.
Wow.
So
Have you seen those videos where the
so much more special?
I know.
I
Have you
know,
seen the videos where the
right?
guys like they roll them and then they hit them and then you just pull the thing out?
mm-hmm.
I really
Mhm.
want to try that.
Well, it's because they're all like every one of those like hexagons or like pieces of a
Yeah.
pineapple used to be a flower. So
That's crazy.
uh,
So, but I won Price is Right rules.
that's right. That's right.
Closest without going over.
Correct.
Cool.
Okay.
Next.
Next. This one is an alcohol-related food fact. Whiskey. What color is it when it's made? Straight whiskey.
See-through.
Yeah,
like
it's
water.
clear.
Clear.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's clear, and it only gets its colors from the barrel. And Scotch whiskey can also get colors from coloring, like caramel coloring that they add
So
to it.
there was a guy once I did this. He came in to talk about bourbon, and he had basically like, I guess, raw alcohol like before they age it or anything, and it's called White Dog.
White Dog.
And it is so. I was at this back in Montreal. We went out for a night. Like, I think I slept like 3 hours, and then
Yeah.
we went to a bourbon tasting at 11 a.m. So like, still pretty much drunk. And the first thing I put to my lips that day was this White Dog, which is like, 50% alcohol,
Yep.
not softened or sweetened at all with anything. And I like, it was like, whoa, like it's intense.
It hit you hard.
It's like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what, and this might be a story, but this is the story he told us because he was from Maker's Mark. That's what in New Orleans, that's what they used to drink,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
then these kind of frugal booze cellars would take old barrels and burn the inside
Mm-hmm.
instead of washing it because it's cheaper. Put the White Dog in there, and then they would pull down the river. The Mississippi, right? So it took like 2-3 months to get down on this raft,
Right.
and when it got there, it had softened up
It was that
the
beautiful color and
color. It was sweet, and so people would ask for the bourbon White Dog because it was from the town of Bourbon.
oh,
So it had
okay.
bourbon on the barrels, and so that's the birth of bourbon, and you would pull down the Mississippi, sell all your booze, and then you're not going to pull up the Mississippi, so you'd make enough money and buy a horse. So when you'd go down to New Orleans, you bought a horse, and of course they were trading with Spain, so they had Lippenziner stallions, which are like the best horse racing stallions.
This is an insane story.
Yeah. So they would be going back. They would take the horse back to New Orleans, and you're drunk and you got a really fast horse, and it's the 1800s. So you're getting drunk and you're betting on who has the fastest horse, and there you go. That's the Kentucky Derby.
Bourbon and the Kentucky Derby all in one story.
Yes.
There you go.
Can we, Josh, fact check that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What
We'll.
was the other one we had to check too?
Is
Basque
Basque
language.
Oh, the Basque language.
the
yeah.
Basque language? Did Josh just
Yeah.
make it up?
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
question.
it's a language.
Oh, is it a language?
Oh, it's a language. It's Basque
Yeah, but the
language,
origin of it.
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Josh made it up, and then he gifted it to the people of the Basque region.
It's
That's what I
it's
meant.
Like Finnish. Like no one knows where the Finnish language came from
Yeah.
Hmm.
because it doesn't sound like any of the other Scandinavian languages.
Okay, the third fact. Let's get this one out of the way. John Adams, the second U.S. president, lived till 90 and drank a quarter pint of cider every day. That was the first thing he drank when he woke up.
Like apple cider vinegar or cider.
No, like Basque region cider, essentially.
Yeah, for sure, because he would.
So it's
yeah.
just a fact.
It's
not
just
a
a
question, like
fact. It's not a
true or false?
question. It's just a fact.
Okay.
Sorry.
live to be. If you lived to be 90 back then, that's like living to be 390 today.
Yeah.
Maybe not 390, but
People,
yeah.
what was the life expectancy back then?
Josh.
Like
Josh.
40?
like 40.
Right.
Like if you were 40, you were the old man.
Yeah, but why do you think it was 40? Do you think it was because they were drinking
Because
all the
No
time?
one showered.
Oh,
Everyone,
yeah.
Everyone,
A disease.
everyone died
Okay,
of
it's disease.
diseases.
Right.
You got brain surgeons using wood tools with no gloves on. Of course you're going to die.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Josh, facts. That's all this podcast is going to
You
be.
ever seen those movies, the World War II? There's just nurses with no gloves on, bandaging dudes up, and then reusing the bandages on another guy.
Yeah. That's
Infection
wild.
City.
That's wild. Okay, here's a question for you. What popular alcohol makes people sleepy, according to people?
According to people,
Yeah, like me and you, and like if you were to ask someone,
All of it.
there's
Well,
one in
wine.
Too
particular.
much.
wine.
Yeah,
I would say wine.
yeah, red wine. They say
Yeah.
Mhm.
when they did a survey of 29,000 people, 80% of them said that
Said
red
red
wine
wine.
made them the sleepiest of all of them.
Pays for that survey.
I don't know. The British Medical Journal.
Like we gotta survey 29,000 people because it matters what
Yeah,
people
it
think
matters. It matters.
about what but that's an opinion based survey.
I mean,
Why don't you just do a science and be like, well, actually, it's gin.
how do you
science.
Science?
how do you do a science on that,
can-
Josh?
You can do a science.
Can that be
You
a
do-
soundbite? That needs to be a
Do a
soundbite.
science.
Do a science.
Do a science. I'm grabbing that one. Right?
And a little bit of pee.
Yeah, exactly. And the final coolest food fact that I found was, do you guys know what Kit Kats are filled with?
I just had a Kit Kat last night.
So Kit Kat, they're like chocolate, and then they got the
Like a
wafer,
wafer.
and then they got a little bit of more of chocolate or
Yeah.
nougat or something, and more wafer, and then chocolate, right?
Yeah.
Actually, what's in the middle there is all of the reject Kit Kats crushed up and put back into the Kit Kat.
That's
love that.
brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant.
So
Brilliant.
Mhm.
now you know.
That's basically what sangria is.
Yeah, it's just reject wine.
Yeah, or like old wine. You're like, let's put a bunch of fruit in here
Let's make
Sugar.
let's make it taste better.
and Sprite.
And Sprite.
Charge $9 a glass.
Do you guys like sangria?
I do. I would say, like, depending on the occasion.
Yeah, I was gonna say depending on the occasion.
I like a white sangria though.
You like it better than a red?
Yeah,
Is
yeah
that
with a
'cause-
little bit of apricot brandy in it.
You know what? I worked at this restaurant out in Steveston, Richmond, when we very first moved out to BC. And we used to make sangria there, like pitchers of sangria. And it was some of the best sangria I have ever had or made. And we
Mm.
didn't stew it. You know how a lot of times, you'll pour wine in, you'll put the fruit in, and you'll let it sit there for a day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever. We just made it.
Let it
we made
re-ferment.
yeah. But we just made it on the spot, and it was so good. I think I still use it as like a mental model for when I'm making red sangria.
Probably because it's nice and fresh.
Yeah, it was really good.
Let's get on to our actual wine topic today, since we don't have any wine to really talk about. I mean, other than what we're drinking. Corks versus screw caps. Do you guys have a preference?
Dun dun dun.
Dun 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 dun.
Fighting words. Those are fighting words.
Dun 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 dun. I don't have a dun dun sound, but
A preference for
Yeah.
me personally.
yeah.
Cork all the way.
Okay. Let's see if we can change your mind today.
Boy. No.
No,
Definitely not.
no, I
Um,
refuse.
I get the screw cap and I get its place in the world.
Okay.
But the reality is, for me, if I'm gonna open up like a nice bottle of wine, I want to do the ritual. I want to unscrew the cork, especially if you're going to be doing like wine that has to age. Who was I talking to about this recently?
Probably yourself. I mean, that's what
No,
you
they
do
were
most
they
of
were
the time.
aging. Yeah, probably. It was a dream. They were aging the same wine in a corkscrew, or in a cork cap and a screw cap,
Yeah.
and they let it age for for like 5 years and drank it, and the cork had matured the wine a little bit. I think I was talking to Leah about this, wasn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just more of a history guy, I guess, or like
Old-fashioned dude.
Old-fashioned dude.
I think the way that I look at it, screw caps from a scientific perspective are better. There's less risk for the wine to be.
But they're better to
tainted from
keep the
corking.
wine, though.
They're
right?
better to keep the wine, so the wine won't age as quickly. But a lot of producers have started putting screw caps on their higher end wine to change the perspective, because screw caps used to be on the cheap wine. So it's like, oh, if it has a screw cap, it's cheap. Actually, that's not the case. And I would imagine that screw caps are probably more environmental. If we think of some of the controversy around, cutting down the cork trees and making corks versus synthetic corks, etc. But I agree with Josh. Part of my love of wine is the romance of opening up a bottle. And, there's a big difference between when you take a bottle and just like
crack,
it's open versus you go through the ritual of cutting the foil and like all of that. There's such a, like, it's almost like a ballet, It's,
wow. That's
really,
so romantic.
And
it
like with the
is.
cork too, it looks like someone individually put that in, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like with a screw cap, I almost picture like a Coca-Cola assembly line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit more.
So I think that's
romantic.
the hard part about it is screw caps are probably actually better for the environment, better for the wine. They keep the wine better. Yet there's something about the romance of opening a bottle of wine with a cork in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I would say probably screw caps and synthetic corks have probably gotten a lot better recently. Probably to the point where you could choose how long it took to age your wine now, right? With screw caps.
What do you mean, like
there are
caps
advancement
that are
in
meant
screw
for
caps.
aging kind of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. There's screw caps out there. I mean, I just read it today, but so I'm not an expert on the subject by any mean, but yeah, like from what I kind of looked into today, the pros of a cork are that they're natural, they're historically preferred, as you guys were saying, and long-term aging has been proven. That's the pro.
That's the thing, like the screw cap long-term aging cannot have been proven.
Not yet.
Not yet, because they haven't been around long enough.
Yeah, but the cons, I think the cons for cork outweigh the cons for screw caps, though, right? So it's screw caps, they're real expensive. I mean, not screw caps, corks. Corks are really expensive, right? You can get TCA, cork taint, from corks, right? You can't get that from a screw cap or a synthetic. It's impossible, right? It's a limited resource, and it's got variable quality to it. No two pieces of cork are the same, right? And also on top of that,
you know what I was just thinking? Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I feel like screw cap versus cork is like arguing being rational and being emotional.
Yeah.
Like screw cap is the rational choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For it, like it makes sense. Costs less, better for the environment, keeps the wine better. Like there's no argument there, but there's an emotional attachment to cork.
Huge emotional attachment. Yeah, exactly.
Think about how many of these will end up in a landfill, Bryce.
Is that what?
The environmental impact.
No, I mean, you guys have both told me stories of people trying to open screw caps with corkscrews. So
I told you the story. The girl, but she got it out.
Exactly.
That's insane. That's so dangerous.
I know, and Leslie and I just watched her do it. And she was like, "I'm so sorry."
That's irresponsible.
We're going to call it 911. She's gonna like pull it and cut her finger off. Like, but she got it off.
Like,
and there was a. I mean, it looked like someone shot a bullet through the screw cap. Like that's the hole we're talking about. She got it up. Bless her heart. She got it.
Who taught her how to open a bottle of wine?
I mean, who taught her how to open a Pepsi? Like,
she just carries that with her all the time.
She just can I get a bottle of Sprite? And she's at the 7-Eleven with a wine key, just fucking getting in there.
Yeah.
You should really sell openers with these Sprite bottles.
With this, you're trying to be funny now. Yeah. So those are like the cons, I think, for Corks.
But Bryce, sorry, I
No, go
interrupted
ahead.
you again. But Josh and I have both worked in restaurants
Yeah.
where you serve a bottle of wine to a table and it's the art of opening it. You haven't really had that.
No.
So what's your preference, screw cap or cork?
I mean,
Why?
I would say screw cap is my preference because you don't need to have any tools with you.
Yeah.
If I wanted to take a bottle of wine somewhere, that's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And another thing that I learned recently too is that with your cork bottles, you should have them all stored sideways, horizontally, right? But your screw caps, you can store them vertically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's much better for the environment because you could probably get away with transporting wine in a more compact way. Safely.
We need to come up with a ritual for the screw cap, or they need to I don't know, do something different with the screw cap.
Just
So
put the
if
foil on
buy
top.
a smaller bottle of wine, you show it to them, and then something that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and then you.
I was watching a Simon Sinek video where he talked about don't solve problems that don't exist. So if there's not a problem, don't solve it.
That's right. Don't make it more complicated.
I feel like trying to figure out a ritual for opening screw cap would be like solving a problem that doesn't exist.
You just reminded me of one of my favorite jokes of all time from The Simpsons. It's from The Simpsons, where Lisa Simpson keeps saying something, and one of her teachers kind of snaps, and he's like, little Lisa Simpson, the answer to the question no one asks.
Exactly.
I think it's one of the funniest things ever. That's exactly what it is.
I totally agree.
I'm gonna solve this problem that's not causing problems.
Right? Exactly. Do you think it's a problem that there is a cheapness associated with screw caps?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just gonna take time.
Yeah.
Right. You have a whole I think there's a whole new generation of wine drinkers that are younger than us,
Mm-hmm.
that are going to be way more open to natural wine, different bottle types, different types of closures.
But maybe that's the problem to solve is associating screw caps with cheap wine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
I mean, I think
How do you solve that
it's a
problem?
dangerous thing the other way too, right? Because cork is associated with expensive wines, you can put it in a cheaper bottle of wine and sell it for more
And people
money.
think it's more expensive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're buying your wine based on whether it has a cork or a screw cap, that's you got bigger problems.
I mean,
with
it's one of many things you're probably looking at.
Yeah. You're looking at the label. Does it have a fun?
Looking at the label. I mean,
Is it? Oh, it's called whatchamacallit Chardonnay. Ah, that's funny. I'll remember that because I'm always like whatchamacallit.
oh my
Like,
God.
Come on.
It's like you got to hate on for.
Oh, come on. How do you know that? Marketing wise, it's brilliant. Of
It's
course.
brilliant.
I think I just hate the people who drink it.
Oh, okay.
All of you.
Natural
No, I'm
wine
just
isn't
kidding.
pretentious. Just Josh
Yeah.
is.
Just yeah. But it's like the marketing of it is brilliant, of course. But I mean, you're judging you're buying the wine because of the label.
I mean, this Klaus Pressinger stuff, like
The packaging is pretty
it's
super
slick.
slick.
super
It's pretty
slick.
slick.
Beautiful.
And then I don't have the caps anymore, but they'll have a little smiley face on them, and they all say bubbles against troubles.
Yeah. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So
And now, mind you,
It's the
that's
best of
gonna
both
also
worlds.
intrigue. If I'm going to buy, between two natural wines, I might even pick based on the label. But at least I'm not buying one because it's called whatchamacallit.
right,
That's worse.
right.
I'm like the biggest hypocrite.
You're
I'm
such a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest hypocrite.
But I guess that really takes us to a different level here. Is do we even need to keep putting specific wines in glass bottles? Like, what's the point of cork for a wine and a glass bottle for a wine that's not meant to last more than a year? It's not supposed to
Now you
age
want
more
to
than
put
a year.
wine in a jug?
Put it in a box. Put it in
How
a
about
can.
in a bag, in a
Yeah,
box?
exactly.
Now there is something that has a bigger stereotype of being a
Cheap.
non-quality wine.
Yeah.
Um, so we've tried to bring in bag and box. So like Le Ballon,
Yeah.
they have a couple of Chateau de la Selves that they sell in 20-liter bag and box. The problem for us is the government marks it up way too high, so it actually ends up being more than double the price per bottle. If you were to bring it in a box.
And is that just because of the amount of liquid coming in?
No, it's because the government just makes up rules willy-nilly.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
They're
enough.
like, oh, it's because of the weight. I'm like, do you like
No,
weigh individual bottles?
20 liters in bag and box versus 20 liters in bottles.
Way
the weight
cheaper.
is going to be significantly less bag and box.
You're preaching to the choir.
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah. So I've done the markup, and it ends up, it goes from like a bottle of Ballon I think lands at, let's say, $12 for fun.
Yeah.
If you were to bring in 20 liters and divide that up by the number of bottles that is, it ends up being like $23.
Right. That's fair.
Which is insane. And yeah, the wine will last longer, but that's a whole other topic.
Do you think?
Yeah,
I think if you're looking
would love to have
drink wine like and not age it, you're having like wine on tap in kegs is a great option.
Yeah.
Bag and box, great option. But to Josh's point, there isn't a lot of quality wine, and not expensive wine, but quality wine that you could get bag and box. Like
Right.
you're going to be buying Lindemann's Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, or like
bag and
Barefoot.
box. Yeah,
But
Barefoot.
Shout out to Doug Reichel,
100%.
who has that Terra de Lobos,
Yep.
which is a great everyday wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that is significantly more expensive than the other stuff in box. Right? Like
but it's not like, so here's the thing. A bottle of Terra de Lobos White is
Mhm.
$14.99, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah. You can get bag and box, which is 6.6 bottles for $60.
There you go.
So it's $10 a bottle, under $10 a bottle.
Right. So you're saving
And
$5.
it's less recycling. It's
Yeah.
it's the way to go, because that wine is not intended to age. It's
Right.
intended to drink. Now.
How do you like, so there's a happy medium though, because like if I go to a restaurant and I want to buy a nice bottle, I don't want you to pour it out of the box and then bring it over to me in a carafe. But I was at this restaurant in Rome, and they just literally had, it was white, red, rosé. Those were the only wine options, and it was in the wall.
Yeah.
And
It's
they
on
just
tap.
poured you a carafe, and it's it's €10. I would love to have that option here. I would love to be able to do like half carafes, full carafes of like Azimut, for instance, which should essentially be, the same price as that Terra de Lobos for a box.
Right.
Just going by the price it lands at.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the powers that be do not allow it.
But so here's a hypothetical question. How do you feel about natural wine in strange? Josh has just pounded Jameson.
No, I only I had like a little bit left.
You just had to drink
And
it.
I was like, I'll just finish it off, but it ended up being like a whole ounce.
Yeah.
Because it's a big bottle. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about like natural wines in different containers? We'll say, because there's no perceived quality.
Maybe that's the way to start.
Mm.
People who enjoy natural wines are probably more open-minded and experimental.
Absolutely.
So why not try it with different packaging?
Like why not?
Generally cooler.
Why not a can?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a winery. I think it's Loire. It's Muscadet. So it's Loire.
Yeah.
They sell it as like a 40-ounce, like a Colt 45 shape bottle with a screw cap. Yeah. Which
Like
is
a
and it's
2
delicious,
liter.
right? And it's Muscadet, so it's like super cheap.
Yeah.
You put it cold, but you drink it in the summertime,
Yeah.
which I think is brilliant, and that's a lot of fun. And like I'm fine with people doing that and whatever, but when it starts to trickle into like,
But if it's Apothic Red or Bodacious, no way.
oh, they can serve it in a shoe. I don't care. they already age it in coffee barrels, whatever the fuck they do, or coffee bag.
When are we going to do that podcast?
When
we
we can,
drink Apothic Red.
Mm-hmm.
we'll do
Oh
that.
my God.
We'll do that soon. Do a vertical tasting of Apothic Red.
I don't know if I could like, just, like I'm about to be a father, and just for my health, like I don't want to get diabetes.
You think that's gonna give you diabetes?
I think
that's the
just
crux.
purchasing it is gonna raise
That's fair.
my wife's gestational diabetes
That's
probability. Just having it in the house.
You can't give her gestational diabetes.
Yeah.
Not me.
That's not
A
how that
bottle of
works,
Apothecary
guys.
Red.
Just being in the house.
Just being in the house. And it's gonna make all the other wine taste bad when I open them in 5 years.
You're already worried about it. Well, so I mean, I guess that doesn't really answer anything.
Well, I don't think there's
Cork,
there's no
cork
right or wrong
versus
answer
screw
to that
caps,
question,
yeah.
Right? Like does it make sense to have screw caps? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Is it better for keeping the wine fresh? Is it cheaper? Better for the environment? All that stuff? Yeah, for sure. So there's more pros, but for me, like the big pro of having the cork is that romance, I guess, that little history. And until it's proven that screw caps can age a wine appropriately, then I would be skeptical.
I mean, there's lots of good research saying that it can.
Mhm.
Right.
And there's
I
cool,
don't
like
think it's
there's those
about
glass
screw
corks too.
caps aging wine appropriately. I think it's just that it takes longer.
It's the length of time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
So we're used to wine aging a certain way because most of it's been in cork. But just learning a new way to age wine with screw caps.
don't you think that would be more interesting though? Like, because from what all I've learned about wine is that the slower pace that things move at, the better it is for the wine. Generally, for the flavors of
Yeah.
aging, right?
Yeah.
The longer it takes for something to age at a slower, not an aggressive rate, the better it's going to be for those flavors, right?
Mhm.
So then wouldn't that just be like everybody should be using screw caps, even if it takes twice as long, because the flavors could develop into something that no one's ever had.
Is it not more about how people want to drink wine now? Like, do you think trends are changing in terms of people drinking new or young wine versus aged wine?
Mhm.
Like, how often do you have people coming in looking for aged wine? And you have to build up a cellar at a restaurant that
Right.
has a ton of wine that it's 10, 15, 25 years old versus wine that's just available now. Are
Mhm.
people actually still aging wine? Because if they're not, the ageability of cork over screw cap is irrelevant.
I mean, I think that's like a totally different argument too, because I feel the only reason people age wine is because they're trying to. Most of the time, they're trying to save it for some sort of event that never happens. Do you know what I
But
mean?
there are those few. I would agree.
Your
but there
son's
are
never
those-
going to graduate.
Well, no, but your son's gonna graduate, and you're gonna be like, well, I don't know about that. Let's just open this bottle instead, right? You always push it back.
Mhm.
Just drink it. Anyways,
Yeah. I'm gonna keep buying wine in corks, but if it changes, then I'll just roll with it.
yeah.
But I do need to
Sure
come
you
up
will.
with the answer to the question no one asked. I need to come up with a ceremony for the screw cap.
A ceremony for the screw cap, because that's all you
Maybe
want.
Maybe we remove the label.
Maybe
right?
you need to perfect opening a screw cap with a wine key.
Right?
That's
Exactly.
Your ritual.
Or you just have
Or
some sort of
you open it and,
strange claw.
like you spin it and see if it spins on top.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Like
Okay.
if it falls off to the left, you're like, oh, the wine's bad.
So all three of us drank 3 different bottles of wine tonight. We usually do a segment about how many days of the week you would drink it. So we are all
We do
going to have
one to
different
7,
things.
right? We rate it
1 to 7. That's your rating scale. I'll start with my Ancestral from Klaus Pressinger. I would probably drink it 3 out of 7 times. I think it's good, but I don't like bubbles. I love bubbles. I just wouldn't drink it that often. I think it's too complex. Josh?
I wouldn't do a whole bottle of the cider. But
Really?
I would probably give this like a 4 to 5. If I could just have a glass. Like I love starting in like a meal off, or like if people come over, because it's just so easy to drink, and it's just like it's there, it's gone, it's fresh.
Yeah,
it's super dry,
and it's got that romanticism
and
about
it. You start to get drunk, and you see how far you could do it.
Right, exactly.
We should do a video of that. Like, we got to get up on someone's roof and see if we can get it in my mouth.
Yeah, we have a competition that's going to come up where it's going to be to see who can do the longest pour without spilling.
It says it has to be 30 centimeters.
Yeah.
That's the height from the glass.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you get that?
Oh, man. I think, like, I'm probably a good 3, maybe 4 feet right now.
Nice.
Like, that's where my skill level is.
That's your comfort
I
zone?
think maybe 2 feet.
How much is this?
Leah?
It's like 3 bottles worth of height.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
No, it's not.
I'll show you next time.
Yeah.
Right. Bring a measuring tape.
This wine I would drink 1 of 7 days.
1 of 7 days.
Yeah, it's good, but it's a little bit boring. Nothing exciting.
And it's probably almost the same price as the one Bryce is drinking.
These are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Those are in the 40s, low 40s.
Yeah, I would say. Probably be high 40s though, at the store.
Yeah, you're right. Probably mid 50s.
Mid 50s. Yeah. Well, this has been another episode of Vincompetant with Josh, Bryce, and Leah. Thanks to our sponsors, Water Construction. We will see you guys next week. Oh no, I hit the wrong button. It was the funny button too. Sorry. Okay, here we go.
I'm kind of a big deal.
That was the Miro Wine Podcast with Josh, Bryce, and Leah. Want to learn more about natural wine? Find us on the internet at mirowine.ca or on any social media platform. Thanks for listening.